It's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And if you're enjoying the content, if you find it useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form, please give this video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it, and it helps to raise awareness of asexuality. So in this video, I'm going to talk about he blocked me. And yes, I really mean that literally. I will be discussing that in a moment and what you should do if someone blocks you. And it might not be what you think. So stay tuned for that. If you don't know who I am Sandra Birmingham, author of this awesome asexual book called Asexual Perspectives, 47 asexual stories, love, life and sex, celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com, the founder of Asexualised Academy, and also the author of this awesome fibromyalgia self-help handbook, which is how to manage fibromyalgia to have less pain, more energy and feel happier like a superhero rock star. So let's crack on with today's really important video. So what to do if someone blocks you. So basically, I shared with you yesterday on my video that there was a glimmer of hope. You know, there was a guy who was Indian, a younger guy who was interested in an older woman. And he was a business guy and he was into kissing as much as I was. And all this gave me a lot of hope. I thought it was going really well, the conversation in some ways that we were having. I say in some ways because there was something I was a little bit concerned about. But I thought that it was going okay overall, you know? And you know, when you think you're having a great conversation with someone overall, things are going well. There's no hint of someone not wanting to talk to you at all. You know, in fact, they're actually asking to speak to you the next day, which is what this guy did with me. Then I wasn't expecting to be blocked by him. Yes, you heard right. The guy I had high hopes for yesterday has blocked me, right? Which is really weird. Asking to see someone and then you block them. How bizarre is that? It's so strange. So what I want you to do, if someone blocks you, which you might not have thought of before, if someone blocks you, this person blocked me on Facebook, right? They weren't my Facebook friend in the first place, so I didn't need to worry about that. But if someone blocks you from Messenger and blocks you on that, what I want you to do for me is I want you to go and block them back. You might be thinking, why do I need to do that if they've already blocked me? Because what can happen is they can unblock you and then decide to start the conversation with you again, right? This is something you do not want. If that person has blocked you and you have no reason to suspect they would do that in the first place, they haven't told you they were doing that, they haven't given you any idea that they don't want to talk to you anymore, you don't need that type of person in your life. And you certainly do not need someone who can block you at the drop of a hat like that, right? This is a person that can't be trusted. This is a person who's got issues they need to deal with themselves. This is a person that you do not want to have back in your life, right? This type of person you do not want back. So you need to go and block them. As soon as you find out they've blocked you, block them back on Facebook. Block them in Messenger or block them on Facebook directly if you can. Sometimes it depends on how the settings are on your Facebook as to if you can actually block them back or not. Sometimes it's hard to do that. But, you know, I certainly could block a couple of the guys I talked about recently on Facebook. One guy blocked me who was a sexual guy anyway. I wasn't bothered about him. I told him in a message he wasn't good for me. He needed to work on himself. You know, he's one that had a male sense of entitlement, Mr. I'm perfect man, and you should just trust me. No, you should not just trust someone like that. And any guy who thinks that and has that sense of entitlement is going to very much have a sense of entitlement about sex as well, aren't they? Right? So you just need to forget about these type of people, right? I didn't mind him blocking me because I've pretty much said we're no good for each other. And, you know, go and find another woman. But the asexual guy I was talking to, blocking me was completely out of the blue, right? But you have to understand what I just said is that you have to go and block them, right? Because you do not want them entering back into your life, right? You do not want them back in your life, right? If this person can do that to you at the drop of a hat, they are not to be trusted. It means they are could lead to controlling behavior, right? If they can drop and chop and change, like if they did decide then they want to come back on Messenger and they unblocked you, this is controlling behavior. It's like having you when they want you and not having you when they don't. And if your only form of communication is Facebook Messenger, then they can just do it off and on, right? It's all about building trust in a relationship and wanting that other person in your life. If that person isn't showing you that consistently and persistently, they're not your person, right? So you need to block them and realize that it's nothing to do with you, it's to do with themselves, right? If they have done that to you, especially if this person asked me to speak to them the next day. I said I couldn't because I was busy with my work and we talked a lot the day before, right? And they were throughout the day saying they were busy, they had to see a friend, they had to do this, that, and there. It's like, it's okay, I'm really busy too. Oh, hi, Andy. Lots of love to you. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming on my stream. So with this guy, you know, we chatted a lot. And you know, he basically said that he was busy throughout the day and that he'd like to speak to me the next day, right? But I was busy, you know, I need to catch up on my work because we've been talking hours the night before, you know. And so I told him that I was busy, I couldn't do it. But I said, but he was busy anyway. I said, oh, it's good that you're helping your friend, because he said, I'm helping my friend fill in a form. It's going to take longer than I thought. And I'm like, that's well done for helping your friend. He sent a little smiley with a halo. So I thought everything was fine. I didn't expect to go back on Facebook and see he'd blocked me on Messenger. He's not Facebook friends with me anyway. So that did come as a blow. You know, I was angry, I was upset. But now I've had time to process the whole thing. I'm glad because he did me a favour. So what you must do is block them back because you don't want them entering back into your life, right? No way, shape or form. Block them, block them, block them, right? They're not to come back into your life, right? Realise that it's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. Whatever is the issue about them coming into your life and going out of your life is their issue, not you, right? But recognise that it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be peed off. It's okay to feel a bit like you've been maybe used, or a bit like you've been, you know, like you've given trust and someone's betrayed that trust, or you've given some care or love and attention and that's been betrayed. But it's okay to feel these negative emotions, but just don't hold on to them. Let them out. Get your anger out. Just like scream into a pillow if you need to, whatever you need to do, and then just let the person go and realise then that they have done you a huge favour, right? This person has done me a huge favour, right? Because if that person is behaving like that, they are not my person, right? So I wrote on Facebook today, I wrote a post, right? Oh, I've just gone past it, right? So I wrote a post, which is, if I can find it, let me see. But it was all about basically, I'm trying to find my own post on my own profile. It was basically, oh, thank you for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. So, right, this is my post. If someone goes from your life, thank them for leaving a space that someone who cares about you more can come into. They blessed you with the gift of showing their true colours sooner rather than later. Don't let them back. Leave them to work out their shit, basically, excuse my language, on their own. This is relationship and dating advice 101. Because it truly is, right? It's not your fault they've done that. If they were talking to you and then all of a sudden stop talking to you, block them, that shows how they are not ready for a serious committed relationship, or they're not ready for one with you. You're not really their person. You're not important to them. They don't care enough about you, right? I mean, it's possible that because I stopped talking to them about sexual stuff, yes, I'm talking about an asexual guy on the more sexual end of the spectrum, stopped talking to him about sexual stuff and said I want to actually get to know his personality. It's possible that he lost interest in me because that's what it seemed like, right? I mean, I told you before that it's very, very difficult for me because I really love passionate kissing with the tongue, right? But I seem to be too sexual in behaviour in the way I like to kiss for asexual guys, not sexual enough in behaviour for sexual guys, or those on the more sexual end of the asexual spectrum. Now, I don't want to go into all the conversation we had because it was private, it was very intimate, right? But there was a lot of stuff I talked about that was to do with sexual stuff, right? And with that person, right? Different things they liked and I did or didn't like, right? And so, after that, I stopped and I said, he started carrying on. I said, like, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to carry this bit of the conversation. I can't say what it was, but I said, I don't want to carry this bit of the conversation on, basically. I want to stop this. And I want to know more about your personality because I'm looking for a serious relationship. I'm not looking for just talking about how much kissing and physical stuff we can do, right? I'm looking for a serious, committed relationship. And I want to get to know a person's personality. I want to get to know, I didn't even know what work he did and stuff. And when someone starts talking about physical stuff very soon on, it's a red flag with sexual guys. And this guy's meant to be on the asexual spectrum, and it seems to me that as soon as I stop talking about the more sexual aspect of the possibility of a relationship, that he lost, he seemed to be interested in me, but not as enthusiastic and as excited about talking to me. Do you know what I mean? But he still was interested. He was still asking me about stuff to do with my life and myself and stuff. So that was weird, but he kept being busy, which I don't understand because I was really busy. But I kind of think that he was kind of kept saying that he was busy, like I hadn't got anything better to do with my life. And it's like, I'm very busy, I'm a really busy person. So I don't think he appreciated the busyness and work I do. And like I said, he's not openly asexual. He's not a strong enough guy for me at the end of the day. He did a very, very good thing in a way by letting me go. Because clearly he wasn't right for me. He wasn't a strong person for me. He's not out about being asexual. He's not out about liking older women either. And it's like, I need a guy who's going to live their truth and be true to who they are and not hide themselves, So it could be, I could surmise that it was because I wouldn't talk much about the physical aspect of the potential relationship anymore. I could surmise it's because he was scared that I was openly asexual, but he knew that before he even spoke to me because a friend put him in touch with me and he already said he knew that and was okay, but in the future he would do so, he would be more open, but not now. So it's not like he didn't already know that when he started speaking to me. So thanks for the thumbs up. So really appreciate you. So, the whole thing is, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, the reason why that person did what they did and blocked you. The only thing you need to worry about and be concerned about is the fact it's okay. Yes, it hurts. It's annoying. It's peeing off. It's rude and insensitive and uncaring. And when they've shown you some real deep interest and all of a sudden gone like that, it's not very nice. But at the end of the day, there's no point in wasting time, energy, and effort worrying about this person, thinking about them anymore. I don't even know if they've unblocked me or not because on my iPad it looks like they could see my last message, whereas on Facebook and my phone it looks like it can't. Eddie, hello people, I have come to bless you with my presence. Oh, hi Eddie. Lots of love to you. I'm partway through this already. So basically the guy who I had hopes for yesterday on my stream decided to block me for no apparent reason. But I could, like I said, I could surmise what the reasons were. It might be because I stopped talking about sexual stuff and he's supposed to be asexual, but on the much more sexual end of the spectrum, grey asexual. So yeah, so it might be because he got scared that I'm so out, but you knew that already. But it doesn't really matter. I don't want to make excuses for him. The whole point is he was having a conversation. He asked to speak to me the next day. If he wasn't interested in talking to me anymore, he wouldn't have asked that. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I'm just so glad that he's done it, really, because now I actually feel really calm. Like today, this evening, I've really calmed down loads. Like yesterday, early hours of this morning, I was Skyping my best friend Sam, and I noticed it, and I was like really fuming. I was like, how can he? It's really horrible, nasty to do that to someone, especially someone you're meant to care about or like in some way, and started saying, "Oh, you're perfect for me. You're so like me." Blah blah blah. But I just have to know he's done me a favour. I mean, I've been looking for 6 years for someone like me, So he's going to find it difficult as well because he doesn't fit into the average asexual box. He doesn't want to have a full sexual relationship. So he's going to find it just as difficult. But, if he's sorry you had that experience. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, but as you say, he did you a favour in the end. Yeah, he did me a big favour, because I don't want a relationship with a type of guy like that, who can just drop at the drop of a hat, just drop someone, And that's why at the beginning of this video, I said to block the person back, which you both missed that. So no one says this. As far as I know, no one's has said it on another video that I've ever seen. Is if someone blocks you on Facebook, block them back, even though they've blocked you, if it's possible. Which is what I've done with him, because they can unblock themselves and then start talking to you again and make up loads of crap and excuses about why they blocked you and all the rest of it, or want to come in back in your life crawling. You don't let them. They had the chance with me. If they can drop you once, they can drop you any time again, especially if Facebook Messenger is your only form of communication. It means they can cut it on or off whenever they damn well feel like it. And you're worth more than that. You know, I'm worth more than that. I don't think he valued my worth whatsoever, which is why I'm glad he's out of my life now. Good luck to him, I say. I hope he finds an Indian girl for him, because I think he needs one, but he likes older women. And I expect most older Indian women are usually married. So he's going to be a bit stuck there, isn't he? But there you go. It's not my problem at the end of the day. So I wish him luck. I wish him lots of love, luck, and happiness. Maybe with another woman he'll be completely different, but with me he was like that. Okay, so you have to understand that sometimes when people block you, they might not do that to other women. They might be so wonderful and nice and everything, because maybe they are, you know, they're going to be right probably for another person. I think they're going to find it hard to find someone, but I still think it's possible. Like I said, it's possible for anyone to find someone, and I think he probably will find someone. You know, wish him the best of luck. You know, it would have been nice if he'd actually told me, I've thought about it, I don't think we're suitable. But you know what I mean, rather than just cut off. That was very rude. But I mean, I feel really happy, you know. I actually feel really happy. Like today, like this afternoon, I just felt so relaxed, you know. I've been detoxifying myself from the dating scene. I'm off mingle2.com. I haven't deleted my account at the moment, but I'm off there. I'm purposely keeping off there because I don't want to be on there at the moment. I don't know if I'll delete it or not. Sometimes it's good to do research for some stuff to do with sexuals, really. But a lot of the time, you know, at the moment, I don't want a relationship. I want to just focus on my career. So sometimes when these things happen, it helps you reevaluate your life and what's happening and how you're feeling. And, you know, thank God I've got no guys interested in me directly like that ever again at the moment. I'd rather not have that, you know. Because, you know, when you have people interested in you and you don't know them, it can actually, I get relationship anxiety, so it can make me very anxious. You know, there's been like a lot of Indian guys and foreign guys that have been interested in me last week, and it's just actually taken its emotional toll on me, you know. And there was a sexual guy that I said that, you know, I told him to find a sexual woman for him. And then there's this last guy. And now, because I haven't got any guys that are suitable for a relationship at all with me, and I know that for definite, and I'm not talking to any guys like that anymore, I just feel really at peace and relaxed and happy, and my body's feeling better, and I'm feeling like really chilled out and just like wonderful again, you know, a bit more like back to my Disneyland Paris magical feeling self. And so that's really good, you know. I'm really happy that something good has come of this, you know. But I wanted to do this video to say, you know, don't spend your time and attention thinking about this person and worrying about it and why they did it, and don't blame yourself. Like most people who get blocked blame themselves, but you really shouldn't blame yourself. It's good you're feeling happy. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, you really shouldn't blame yourself, you know. Yeah, I'm feeling really happy. I'm really relaxed. I'm so relaxed and chilled at the moment. I just feel like I don't want to do any work. I just want to relax and chill. But I'm not feeling dizzy like I was before. So whether or not the dizziness was in part to do with what's going on emotionally, because I told you before, like what goes in your mind, what goes on in your emotions really affects your body greatly, you know. And now I just feel like relieved. I feel it's good. I don't have to message someone, because he was wanting me to message him first, which I thought was a bit, you know, I don't really like doing that. It makes me feel like the guy's not that interested if he's asking me to message him first. And when I messaged him, like when he asked me to do that originally, he messaged me back with just the time, saying the time. And I'm thinking, then later on he goes, I'm really glad you messaged me, because it was nice to hear from you. I said, well, I wasn't sure whether you wanted to hear from me or not, because you just wrote the time. You didn't say anything to me. But then as that conversation progressed further, so I thought he was interested in talking to me. But I'm really glad that he's done me a favour. I'm really glad that he blocked me. I'm even more glad that I blocked him back. So make sure if anyone blocks you on Facebook and they've acted like that you block them back, so they don't have the opportunity to come back in your life again. I mean, really, seriously though, I am all over the internet. So if that guy was that keen on me, he could easily find me in some other way, like by email or one of my Facebook pages. He already has a link to one of my Facebook pages. So it's not like if he really liked me, he couldn't contact me again. But these type of guys won't, because they're not really interested. You're an afterthought. And to me, it just means that I think if I had kept talking to him about physical kissing stuff, then he would have been getting a sexual thrill out of it, probably, that he would have carried on talking to me. And so I am a bit disappointed that asexual guys can be like that, if they really are asexual. But you know, I mean, he's on the asexual spectrum. He's not fully asexual by admittance. He's great asexual, you know. So, but I'm just shocked and a bit surprised that asexual guys can behave like sexual guys in this way. Do you know what I mean? It's like as soon as you stop talking to about more intimate sexual stuff, they just tend to like lose interest. I had that with a asexual guy before, if you remember. I don't even know if he was really asexual, you know, with a boyfriend that I had briefly that for about a month. I never met in person. As soon as I started saying I won't take my clothes off, like my top clothes off, then he wasn't interested. He changed, whole behavior changed, you know. But this guy was okay about what I said I didn't like that. So it wasn't, you know, but it was just other stuff I think he liked me talking about that I just had to stop, because I'm like, I want to know about the person's personality. Like, I love kissing, don't get me wrong. I love kissing for hours, but I don't want a relationship just based on kissing, because it would be boring. But, well, in terms of, it'd be boring in terms of, I feel like I was just, well, rather than being boring, I would say I'd feel like I was being used, if I'm honest. I think boring is the wrong word in the sense that kissing is exciting, but it's not exciting if you feel you're being used. It just becomes horrible. I don't want to be used for how much kissing I can do, you know? It's like one extreme to the other. It's really hard to get a guy who wants, you know, who wants as much kissing as I do, to the other extreme where a guy would be like too interested in not just the kissing, but the physical aspect, because I can be very physical when I kiss. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of the guys I come across, asexual guys, are more on the more sexual end of the spectrum. They want clothes off and stuff like that, and I'm not comfortable with stuff like that. So I often find that the grey asexuals and demisexuals, they're too sexual for me. So it's just very difficult for me to find a really good match, because I'm like, you know, because it gets too much for me. After a while, it starts turning me off. Like, if a guy starts talking about kissing, it's okay. But then if he starts talking about more sexual behavior stuff, and then he really goes into it and carries on, it's like, is this all we're going to talk about? Because to me, this is just like, this is just reminding me of how it is with a sexual person. And quite frank, I'd rather go and cuddle my cuddly toys. Do you know what I mean? It gets too much. It goes from sweet, innocent, kind of like exciting kissing fun, maybe even erogenous kissing fun without the sex and with clothes on, to kind of like, this is getting a bit more yucky now. This is getting a bit more like weird. This is getting a bit more too sexual now. This is feeling like I'm being used sexually, and I don't like it. You know, this is how is this any better than with a sexual guy, apart from it's not actual physical intercourse, but it's still being used for sexual gratification, and I don't like that. You know, it makes me feel really, really weird. And so I just stopped talking about that part of the conversation. But I think maybe that's why he lost interest. And if he did, good. You know, I can't be with the guy who's like too that way. I kind of need someone in between, you know, someone who's really, really into me, physically kissing me, but not to the extent that that's all the relationship is going to be based on. It's just ridiculous. I need an intelligent conversation. I need a guy to be, you know, including me his conversations and wanting to know about my personality, because my personality is the most important thing that he likes overall. Because if he doesn't like my personality, it's not going to last. My personality is so unique, you know, and looks can change. What you do physically can change over time. You know, there'll be times when you're both working and the person comes in and they've had a bad day at work or whatever, or things have gone wrong in their business, and you're not going to feel like kissing loads, maybe. Do you know what I mean? You're just going to feel like you want a supportive ear. And, you know, you can't do that with a person who's just physically minded all the time and not liking your personality and not being able to understand you. It's important in a relationship you get understood by that person, and they actually want you in their life. I mean, he did say when this virus situation's over, he won't be available much to talk to you, because I said, you know, kissing is all very good and well, but I, you know, like in reality, if you were living over here, I could only see you probably twice a week, 3 times at the most, probably twice. I'd like to 3 times, but twice the most. I can't kiss all the time because I've got my work to do, you know? And he's like, oh, I'm usually really busy from 7 a.m. in the morning, or 7:30, I think he said, till 10 at night. So, but because the virus crisis, it's different. You've got to be very careful about that at the moment as well. There are a lot of people online that obviously need the companionship or want to chat to people because they're bored, because they've got nothing better to do. So, there's a danger, there's something good about the virus situation in terms of dating. There's something bad. One is you can get to know a person a lot better because you haven't got that in-person contact. If they're living in the same country as you and able to get to you, if you haven't got that in-person contact, you've got video chat, you've got, on Skype or Facebook, you've got texting, you've got a lot more other forms of communication to get to know someone, and to get to know each other, than diving into the physical intimacy side of things, which is much better. But you've also got the sense there's lots of people out there that are going to use people. Whether they mean to or not is another matter. They might not mean to. They might just be having time on their hands, feeling lost, lonely, need someone to talk to. The time off work, they might think everyone's off work at the moment. I'm not, and they might just think, that you can chat to them because you're free a lot at the moment. So but what's going to happen to that relationship or potential relationship when the person goes back to work? They aren't going to have time for you or pay you time and attention. Are they going to make time for you somehow? How are they going to do that? How are you going to fit into their life? You have to take all this into consideration. This could go on for a long time. It could go on for a short time, but however long it is, you don't want to be spending 3, 4, 5, 6 months or whatever talking to someone, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I've got work to do now. No, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you now. I'm too busy. You need to know that a person's going to be busier, but they need to be able to set quality time aside for you. If they can't do that, you've just wasted all that time talking to them, getting to know them, where you could have been getting to know someone else who can make time for you. So it's really, really important that you watch out for all these things, and I have blocked him on Facebook, so there's no way not through my personal profile anyway, so there's no way he can get back in touch with me there. Even if he does unblock me. He had his chance and that's it, and he's not a strong enough guy anyway. He's not out about being asexual. He doesn't even live in this country. He's got a business, but it's going to be he's just bought business. It's going to be 2 or 3 years while he's been there. And if his business is in India, I hardly think he's going to want to move abroad, really. But he did say he's had a visa for USA before. So I don't know where he lived there or if he just went there for a time. But yeah, so it was a bit sad and angry at the beginning, but I'm really glad he let me go. I feel better now. I feel like it wouldn't have really worked between us anyway. I feel like he was too far away, and he was closed about his asexuality, closed about an older woman. It wouldn't have been any good. So I'm really, really glad that he's done me a favor. I should really blow him a kiss for doing me this huge favor and saying thank you for saving my life, and not wasting it, because time is precious, and you never get these hours, minutes, days back again, so it's important that we spend time with the people who love us. We spend time on our life missions and goals and things like that. It is harder for me to get a relationship because I am in the public eye. That does make it hard, and I was talking to a friend today, an asexual friend who's also heteromantic, who watches this channel. Hello to you. And they we get on really well in private message as friends, and they are heteromantic, looking for a relationship. Younger foreign guy, actually. They are nice looking as well, but at the end of the day, they know that I do the work publicly for asexuals, and that's not something they could deal with in a relationship. And I really appreciate their honesty, But like I said to that person, they really, they're really kind about it, I won't give up the work I do for asexuals. I won't stop talking on this channel about asexuality. I won't stop being me. I need a relationship with a guy where he knows that I'm going to talk about him sometimes on my channel, because he's in my life and he's part of it, and he's a huge part of it, and I'm in a relationship with him. I don't expect him to do work like I do for asexuals. Don't expect him to shout loudly about everything like I do, but I do want a guy who will support me. It's important because I'm here to stay with asexuality. It's not something I just do as a hobby, as in I'm just going to do it for a time and then go from it. It's something that I see myself doing for years and years and years, forever, really. I don't see me ever stop doing stuff for asexuality. It's just, I'm so passionate about it. It's so in my soul, and I just need to help as many people. I said I will not be with a guy in any relationship where I have to hide that part of myself and where I can't be open and honest on my channel, and I don't want to get with a guy who you know, and give up asexual stuff just to help, just to be in a relationship and stop helping hundreds or thousands of lives, you know, and saving them. I'd rather be single forever than ever give up this channel because a guy can't handle it. You know, I'd much rather be single forever because I'm here to fulfill life purposes, and one of them is helping asexuality get recognised as sexual orientation throughout the globe. You know, I have a lot of work to do still for that. A very lot of work to do, which the Asexual Guide to Sex Book's really going to help, and I can't wait to start back work on that again. It looks like I'll be starting back work on that again next month now because I've got so much to finish off this month. But I'm so happy that I'm going to be doing that book. You know, I think it's just going to be the best book about sex ever written. And it's just going to really help asexuality loads. It's going to help sexuals to understand us more. It's going to be so supportive for a lot of asexuals that are thinking about having sex, or, you know, for whatever reason. I just can't wait to get that book out, you know. And so, you know, what I'd like for myself is I'd like myself to not focus so much on getting a relationship. I like to myself to not be even thinking about that as much. It's just because I'm a hyper romantic. I do think about love, relationship, kissing a lot. You know, it's kind of part of my human nature and who I am, but I don't want it to be that to the detriment of my well-being, you know, or and getting mixed up with people who are no good for me. So I really wish that I could just focus on my career more. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do from now on, you know. I think, you know, all this kind of relationship stuff at the moment isn't good for me, you know. I think it's really good for me now because I've got a break from it, you know. It's kind of like I'm me, excuse me, I'm focused on my career more. I'm feeling really relaxed now. I've got no one messaging me about any relationship stuff. I don't have to like message anyone back unless I want to or can do, or, you know, obviously I message my friends, but it's kind of like there's no like pushing like that. I mean, I just want to really get my career sorted. That's the most important thing to me. It's just I do admit that love and relationships are my Achilles heel. You know, they're kind of like the thing that holds me back the most in life, you know, because I'm just so romantic. It's just like, Sandra, I have to try and manage it really, really well, but it's hard sometimes. But, you know, I want to detoxify from being on the dating relationship scene. I want to pay less attention to it in general, for me personally. I always get guys interested in me anyway, so don't really have to do much. But you know, I think it's very, very difficult when you do get blocked to not blame yourself, but just don't. It's nothing to do with you. It's just the way the person is. They weren't right for you. You know, if they blocked you, they weren't right for you. So you haven't lost anything. You've gained the knowledge, insight, and wisdom that that person wasn't right for you. That person clearly didn't have you in their heart like you may have thought they did. Because if they can dump you just so quickly like that, what does that say about their feelings for you? It says they're not worthy of being in a relationship with your potential relationship because they didn't really care about you. They just didn't really care about you. You know, so whatever they said, whatever they did, it doesn't matter. Well, what they did is more important than what they said, actually, because, you know, because actions speak louder than words, and the actions will always win at the end of the day, you know? So the fact that they've gone from my life, they've blocked me, I really want to say thank you now, you know? You've set me free. I'm more relaxed and happy. I was angry, but now I'm much more happy and relaxed. I'm feeling much better. I'm more smiley. I was so pumped to do this show tonight because I wanted to share with you all the things that I've learned in my own asexual life journey to help you. So just to surmise them before obviously I finish this video, you know, if someone blocks you on Facebook or wherever it is, try and block them back if you can. You can usually do that. I've done that with a couple of people, including this guy. So you can usually block them back in Messenger, at least if you can't fully block them on Facebook. You can, you know, because if they've like blocked you from their profile, you can't usually go on their profile to block them, but you can usually still block them in Messenger if you're using like a you know, like if you're using your phone. Sometimes you can't do it from desktop, but you can still do it from phone. So look out for that, you know. Then, you know, just remember to get all your grief out, your anger, your pain, because it's perfectly natural to do that. It's kind of like, even if it's just for a while, brief time you've known this person, you know, you still got a little bit of grieving to do for the little time you spent together. So get all that out. It's perfectly natural and healthy to get it out. What's not healthy is to keep it in and pretend that it doesn't affect you if you know really deep down it does, because it's causing you some pain, you know. And then, you know, accept that it's not you who's the problem, it's them that's got their own issues and things they need to work on in life, you know, in which case they did you a huge favor because they're not ready for a serious committed relationship, or not with you. You have to accept they might be right for someone else, just not for you. And they did you a favor by letting you go, because if they were meant to be in your life, they would stay in your life. The people that are meant to be in your life and truly love and care about you, whether it's friendship or relationship, they will stay in your life. They will just stay in your life, and they will make an effort to see you, to talk to you, to be with you in some way. They will stay in your life. I'm telling you, I've got really good friends. Andy being one of my best friends, Sam being one of my best friends, and I've got another best friend. So I'm a very lucky girl. You know, these people stay in my life because they want to. They want to see me. They want to speak to me. You're welcome, Andy. You know you're one of my best friends. You're you're mine and Sam's best friend. Very awesome. You know, and the people that are meant to be in your life, they will stick around. They will, because they want to talk to you. They care about you, you know? So this guy obviously didn't really care about me. Obviously not that interested. I can only think that he was interested more with the physical talking. I think if I'd have carried on talking about that every day, he'd probably been blooming on the phone every day. Like, dearie me, but I'm asexual. I'm not sexual. And just too much of that talk just isn't good for me. It just doesn't feel right. It just feels like I'm being used. And I'm like, how is this any different to being with a sexual? In actual fact, a sexual talks less to me like that than you do. Try me. You know, they at least talk to me about their jobs and stuff usually. I'm like, this is so weird. Do you know what I mean? It's just really, really, really crazily weird, you know? And so I you know, but it gave me hope that there is someone else out there that, you know, loves kissing as much as I do, clearly likes more than I do, probably. Yes, definitely. But you know, it did give me hope. You know, there obviously is someone out there that loves kissing as much as I do. They probably will be on the more grey sexual end of the spectrum, I'm guessing. You know, and it'd be all right if that's, you know, not just what they wanted to talk about. They were really interested in my personality too. Do you know what I mean? And they were respectful of my boundaries and things that I definitely don't want to do in a relationship. And they didn't feel they were missing out by not doing those things, you know? So, but yeah, I'm free now again. I was never taken, but you know, like when you're kind of like really interested in someone, you're messaging them and it's kind of you're there on your mind a lot. They're the ones that you're really thinking about possibly being in a relationship. It's even though you're not taken, it's kind of like a piece of you with them. Do you know what I mean? So it's really good when they can give you that piece back, like a piece of cake, really. It's like, oh, your favorite cake, and you've had to give your, you know, like you have some sweets or you have a cake or something, you have to share it with someone else, and you're thinking, I'm sharing it because I feel I need to, but I really want to eat that cake for myself. Like, I really want it. It's a huge piece of cake and I need it for myself. Or even if it's a little piece of cake and you're really hungry because you need that cake and you haven't had any cake for a while, and you're like, I want my cake. You know what I mean? You get your cake back. Take the cake back, people. Take the cake back and munch it. Take the cake back. Yes. I think it's good if they give you your cake back. And then you can thrive in your cake. Thrive in your cake. Oh, hi, Sam. Oh, you're very late because I was going to finish soon. But I know you have work to do. I was just about to finish, but I don't feel like finishing. I was talking about cake, and I was saying, after I've summarized this video already, that when your attention is with someone you really, really like and care about and potentially want a relationship with, it's like they've got a piece of you in their, you know, like a piece of your time, a piece of your attention, a piece of your feelings, emotions, and that when they block you, they give you your life back. They kind of give you that piece of cake back. So it's like that if you've got this really big cake and you've had to give some away that you didn't really want it because you wanted to eat it all for yourself, take the cake. Thanks, Andy. Oh, that's got nice. It's a strawberry or carrot. Is that carrot on top? I like carrots. And then it's like, yeah, you get the cake back. So it's like, oh, I got my cake back. I'm going to munch all my cake to myself now. It's much better. So yeah, I think it's really, really important. So I don't know where to sum this video up once again. Sam, I've just summed it up. I'll be summing it up another time. All right, I'll sum it up again quickly for anyone who missed the rest of the video and just joined quickly. So number one is block them back, because if you block them back, they cannot come back into your life then unless they find some other way of doing it. But they're not really interested in you. They will not bother. Get all the pain out, the anger, the emotion, that was a pain up the backside. It was really horrible, blah, blah, blah. Get all that out. Then realize it's definitely not your fault. Do not blame yourself, and be happy that they did you a favor and that you've got to have all your cake back and eat it all to yourself. Because, you know, I was saying that when you're interested in someone, it's kind of like they have a part of your feelings, a part of your emotions, a part of your life that they like come into, and you're like giving a part of you to them a little bit. So it's like them giving you cake back, and you can eat it all yourself. You're like, thank you very much. I didn't want to give it away in the first place. So I want some fruit cake now. You'll have to order some, Sam, with your next delivery. Unfortunately, I can't eat cake, but I can eat rice noodles. I made some of them last night, and most of them went down the sink. Well, they all went down the sink, the first lot. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got no sieve. I don't do cooking usually. And I got no sieve that will take rice noodles. I guess I need to buy one, but I'm thinking, do I really need to buy one? Because I don't do much cooking usually. It's just because obviously the situation at the moment, I'm trying to cook. I'm actually using a pan that I haven't blooming used for ages. Of course, it's really annoying because it takes me longer to wash that up. And so I was cooking rice noodles, but I got no sieve. So I'm like, lift the lid up for it to come through. But the trouble is, it's really hot water and it was coming near me. And I'm like, well, by accident, the lid came off. I think it's because some hot water might have come near me, trickled near me, and it's like all went in the sink. And so I had to make some new noodles. And it was like, I've wasted half a pack of noodles now. I'm not very happy about that. But yeah, so I'm like, do I really want to buy a sieve when I'm probably not going to use it that much? But then I probably should, because otherwise I don't want that happening again, because I'm just wasting food. Do you know what I mean? So, but I don't know which one's small enough to take them, because last time I got a sieve, they were all going through the sieve. So I wasted most of them anyway. Yeah. So anyway, but yes, get your cake, back yourself, and keep eating it. But yeah, I'm feeling really relaxed and happy now, because I haven't actually got anyone like expecting me to message them. That's what I don't like. This guy really kind of like was asking me to message them and stuff. Like, I like to be able to just wake up and get on with my work, not be distracted. But when you've got someone who's interested in a relationship with you, it's kind of like you need to keep in contact with them. But it's like when they're saying, oh, message me as soon as you wake up, like I do usually kind of like that, but I kind of like the guy doing that rather than me. And then I'll reply to them later when I can, like I'm glad, like, the next couple of days I'm just going to be able to focus on my work, my sales pages for my asexual meetup courses I'm launching very, very soon, because I started doing that, but I was very distracted at the time. And like, the next 2 days, I feel like in a really chill out, relax mode tonight. So I might just chill out some more. But I think it's really important that I feel happy now. I feel really relaxed. I think it's really good to do a self-reflection and self-assessment as well, which is something I didn't mention. Like, whenever this type of thing happens, you need to reflect on how it made you feel, and if you've got any issues that come up for you that you need to work on yourself. So obviously for me, I did feel anger and peed off at that, that happened, and how rude it was, obnoxious in some way, not nice. But then I've had time to think, and I've had time to like get all that rubbish out, emotions, and I've had time I just feel so happier in my body. And I think, like, my body's telling me, Sandra, it's not very good. Like, certainly you can't get into a relationship with someone you do not know, because it's just too much anxiety for you. Your body just feels horrible. It feels like fight, flight, or freeze. Do you know what I mean? It's like, do you know what I mean? High alert. And so it's much better actually if, I just don't do the dating relationship thing at all. But it's important though to know. That is the most important. Thank you, Sam. It's important to kind of like, reflect and think, what's going on. I mean, I'm glad I don't blame myself anymore, because years ago I would have blamed myself, I would have like been like, what have I done? But it's not, it's not your fault. If someone's going to do that to you, they're not the right person for you. And they have done you a favor. And also it's a time for reflection of how you feel in your body. Like, my body feels so much better now. I feel so relaxed. I feel like just walking on air or something. I feel so relaxed. I don't even want to do any work at the moment. I think I will tomorrow, and certainly will the next day. But I kind of just feel like having a night of chilling to myself, because I feel like I need to spend some time with me. It's like I've spent too much time worrying about guys. I just need to take some time out and worry and relax about me. I just need to be cute and cuddly with me, watch some really good movies, cuddle some cuddly toys, have some fun and chilling out time, and just spend like this night just really being happy, and then knuckle down to like more work, because I can concentrate more then if I'm in a happier, more relaxed, focused state. Do you know what I mean? Like, I might read some of my book as well. I might change up. I don't know, but the pressure's off a bit more. I feel like, because I'm Skyping my best friend Sam on Wednesday. Obviously, I've got 2 best friends in the chat. love you all dearly, and Eddie's awesome too. So, you know, I just feel like I'm Skyping Sam on Wednesday. That still gives me a couple of days to do a lot of work. And I'm going to be off social media more because I don't need to speak to that guy anymore. And I got to get my work done, right? I got to catch up. But I just feel like so much better. All the besties here. Yeah, Andy. It's awesome. All the besties here. It's really good. It's really good to see you again. It was really nice on this channel. It's lovely. I love it. And I did have a really nice message from one of my asexual friends who was the guy I spoke a little bit about earlier, that said that, you know, he couldn't be in a relationship with someone like me who's publicly asexual, which I respect that. You know, he's honest. You know, I don't like guys who are just beating around the bush or lying about it. I respect him, you know, loads. He's a really nice person. We get on well as friends by message. We've been friends on Facebook for a long time now. And he said, oh, you don't realize how beautiful and smart you are. And I thought that was just so lovely to say that to me, you know. And when he reads my messages, it's heartwarming. And I just thought that's so lovely, you know, because I said that I will not, you know, be with a guy that wants me to keep my asexuality private, or that isn't, you know, that isn't comfortable with me doing the work I do for asexuals, or not supportive, you know, because I need a guy who will support the work I do for asexuals. Very, very supportive, because I'm not going to stop doing this channel. I would rather save hundreds or thousands of lives on this channel and keep doing the work I do for years than be with one guy, because it's not worth it. It's not, to me, it's not. I know I'm kind of putting my own like heart in like second, but I'm not really, because the guy who's the right guy for me will support me in the work I do anyway, because it's crucial to my own life purpose and well-being, you know. But I will not sacrifice, you know, the hundreds of asexuals I help on this channel, thousands of asexuals I help on this channel, just for the sake of being in a relationship with one guy who wants to keep his asexuality private. You do save lives. Oh, thank you, Andy. You know what I mean? I won't do it. I just won't do it. You know, and he was asking me, you know, as any people, you know, okay about supporting you? I'm like, yeah, the guy last year who wasn't actually right to be in a relationship with, he was actually really supportive of my asexuality. He used to come on this channel loads and chat. I mean, I blocked him now because it didn't, you know, it wasn't good to continue a relationship with him, and it wasn't good to have any contact like that ever with him again. You know, it's best we go our separate ways, but I wish him well and lots of love, luck and happiness, you know. But, you know, because it's just, you know, sometimes you just have to let go of someone fully like that. I'm actually still not blocked on my other channel, but he doesn't usually come on there anymore. And he still used to message me a little bit afterwards. But I do have to say, in terms of my asexuality, he supported me amazingly well. You know, I'll give him credit for that. He was in the chat and he was sharing my videos on Facebook all the time. And he, you know, and all his friends and family could see it. And he wasn't, you know, was never ashamed. He used to come in chat and talk and say, oh, you're talking about me. I didn't even used to say his name directly. And he's like, oh, you're talking about me. So everyone knew who he was, because he admitted that he was my boyfriend at the time. You know, he even said to another guy in chat, she's my girlfriend, stay away. It's quite funny. You know, I mean, he used to publicly support me and be on Facebook photographs together and stuff like that. So, and have me on his phone and stuff. And so there was that good side to him, you know. There are some good sides to people. Sam, I won't hide who I am, and I can't be with someone that does that, but it's great that he was honest about it. It is always important to be honest. Yeah, like this friend is obviously more of a true friend, you know, than a lot of the guys. Obviously you and Andy are my awesome friends, best friends, but I do appreciate this guy who he watches this channel sometimes. He's got my book, Asexual Perspectives, and yeah, it's good that he's honest, you know, and I'm glad about that, you know. And he, you know, he can't be with someone who's public like I am, but he was asking me, you know, like, have I had any experience where someone is okay with my public life? But to be honest, it's usually sexuals that don't mind. It's usually asexuals that have a problem with it, not sexuals. If I ever date a sexual, I mean, probably because they don't believe I'm asexual half the time, maybe. They don't take me seriously, I don't know. But I'm public about it. But like I said, the boyfriend I had last year, he was fine about it. He used to be sharing my videos all the time, much to his family's disgust, I think, or relatives or friends. Do you know what I mean? I don't think they like the fact I was older than him and asexual. But, you know, it is what it is. Especially the fact I was older than him. But it's like really, he's 23. He was nearly 24. You know, it's like he's an adult. He can choose what he does. Do you know what I mean? There are tons and tons of younger guys that like older women. Actually, it's really weird because I'm still in some dating groups and relationship groups on Facebook, and there was a post in there, and there was so many, like what people, what is there any guys, is there any older women here, and that basically, is there any older guys that like any younger? I can't even speak tonight. I could. Is there any younger guys that like older women in here? And I think I had like 160 comments or something. I did comment, even though I'm not a guy, because I said like I like younger guys, And most of the guys that commented, they were nearly all like, "Yep, I prefer older, always older, always older, always older." And I was just quite shocked to see how many guys actually really do like an older woman, But I'm not a typical older woman, When they get with me, they're quite like. I mean, the guy that just blocked me, he thought I was 28, which is great. I love that. Because most people think I'm in my 20s, which is awesome. But obviously it would have been better if he thought I was 21. I have had guys think I was 21 before, but that was a few years ago now, about 3 years ago, I think it was the last. Or was that? I don't know. I might have had other guys think that because I go clubbing. I look a lot younger in some of the clubbing gear I wear. So I think it depends on the person. But I just thought, well, at least he thinks I'm in my 20s. That's cool. But the guys who like older women, they do tend to expect them to act older, and I really don't. So that's a bit of a barrier. Do you know what I mean? But then, like loads of younger guys who not necessarily looking for a specific, much older person, thinks I'm around the same age as them. It's probably all right for that, unless they get alarmed by my actual specific age or something. But I just need to be myself. I did say to my friend on Facebook, the guy that was honest that he couldn't be with someone public like me, is that I won't be like a secret girlfriend. I won't be like hidden. I need to be free to express myself on this channel, express myself in the way I talk, what I say. I need to, I won't be kept like a caged animal. I need to be able to have a guy who's happy to kiss in public. And I know some religions and cultures, they don't like that, but that's no good for me. I'll split up with a guy because he wouldn't hold my hand in public. I can't be doing that. It makes me feel so horrible that I'm not being true to who I am. I honestly feel like I got a prison cell around me. It's horrible. Not that I know what that feels like. I better put it in. It honestly feels like I'm captured in a cider, 4 walls or something. Do you know what I mean? Not able to get out. It's not a good feeling. I don't like it, and I'm glad, Sam, that you won't hide who you are. You can't be with someone who does that. I think it's really important. I think, like I understand my friend. I mean, if he gets with someone who's also private about their asexuality, I suppose it doesn't matter. But like I like the fact you, Sam, are open about your asexuality. It's really important, And obviously, Andy does a lot of work for asexuals, with especially in the past with the meetups and stuff. So I think it's really, really important that you get someone who's compatible for you. And it's so important the work I do for asexuals. I don't see me ever stopping, so I can't like be with someone who's not up for supporting me. Like I've got other things I'm going to be doing. I'd love to, when I speak more on stage in London in the future, I would love to have a guy in the audience supporting me. He doesn't have to be in the public eye like I am. He doesn't have to be doing all the stuff that I do publicly. He can work in IT or whatever type of job he wants to do, or have his own business or whatever he does, But I would love him to just be in the audience and like, be there for me, It would be so cool to see me like doing that and to support asexuality and to support the work I do, even if he ends up not being actually asexual or on the much more sexual end of the asexual spectrum. It would just be really, really nice. Do you know what I mean? To have that, because I think it's important. It's really important to get asexuality recognised as sexual orientation globally. I mean, there's a guy that I'm in contact with who's an entrepreneur, and he does a conscious sexuality. Well, he's done talking on it, and said he was making a course for 11 to 18-year-olds. And I said, to go in schools, and I said, I hope asexuality is going to be part of that. I said, because, people need to know that teenagers and teenagers and even adults need to know that, it's perfectly okay too. If you don't get the need, urge, or want for partner sexual intercourse, there's nothing wrong with you. And that's quite a common thing for some people to feel who are known as asexual. So I hope they're covering asexuality. And he said he was going to cover asexuality, but he's not directly an expert in asexuality. He knows of it through me, I think, because he told me he was watching a documentary a while ago on Netflix. So I think he heard about that through me, but I'm not sure. But he said that asexuality is definitely real, which is good. And I hope he does include asexuality. I said, if you need someone to like help you out with that, let me know. But I hope he does, because that age group, specifically the age group I would love to know about asexuality, you know, like 11 to 18-year-olds. It's really, really important, you know, that people know about asexuality in schools. It's so essential. Thank you for the thumbs up. You know, it's really, really important. And you know, I think it will help with relationships in general if there's so much more taught about it in schools. It'll help people to have more healthier, happy, better relationships. It'll create more understanding between different sexualities. And this is the 21st century we're living in, for goodness sake. They shouldn't be all this like heterosexuality is a normal sexuality still. It's just so outdated, you know. It's just so outdated, you know. There's so many different types of sexualities, you know, like homosexuality, bisexuality, pansexuality, you know. Obviously there is heterosexuality, asexuality, you know. It's just so many different sexualities and so much to being a different sexuality, you know. It's just like incredible lot to learn. And I think, you know, to keep going over and over heterosexuality, you know, all the time is just ridiculous. It's like we're not living in that age anymore. This is the internet age. This is the times of the future, not the times of the past, you know. So I really hope that he does get asexuality in there. I'd like to know what he's actually going to say about asexuality, but I don't think I'm going to find that out. I don't know. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do get blocked, don't take it personally, and just think that that person wasn't right for you, and that they've shown you the light quicker. You know, I'm really glad this guy told me sooner, rather than, you know, well, he didn't tell me, did he? But by blocking me, he's told me sooner rather than later that he's not suitable for me. Do you know what I mean? Like that says it all, doesn't it? A block, really. And so that person's done you a huge, massive favour, you know, because I don't think he obviously valued my worth. If he can, well, he didn't. If he does that, so you know, I'll get someone who's more worthy of my love, time, care, and attention, because these things are really precious time. You know, you can never get them back. So it's better to be with the people you love, friends that love you, and if you can get a relationship with someone who loves you, all the better. If you can't, then stick to your awesome friends instead. But obviously don't leave your friends if you get a relationship. Always have your friends around you, because they're going to stick with you. They're going to be with you. I've learned that in my life. It's actually friends that stay with you, and a romantic partner usually the one that doesn't stay with you. That's why I'm loath to get into an actual relationship again, or certainly won't be getting into one for a long time or very quickly, because lots of the time they don't even last, and it's kind of like just, you know, it can kind of mess up your life a bit emotionally and physically, therefore. So it's better really to take your time getting to know people first as friends. And if a person can't spend a long time for years, well, you need years really to get to know someone as a friend, then just not worth being in a relationship with, you know, because you can't trust them and you can't understand them. You can't know them. You can never really know someone fully, 100% totally, because, you know, they're them. But you can get as good as to it as you possibly can, like, you know, as close to knowing them as you possibly can, so you can trust them and trust that the person you're with is actually the person you believe you're with. Sam, yeah, I have two friends, and I will always have in my life, both on this stream. Yay! Me, Andy, and Sam, best friends. It's awesome. It is awesome. I have to admit that I met you both on the internet, which is something like, you know, like obviously in terms of internet dating, there's a lot of issues with it, a lot of problems with it. Just meeting people on the internet can be very, very dodgy, but I have to say the good side, you know. I met Andy on asexuality.com. Thank you, Andy. Awesome friends. I met Andy on asexuality.com, which is actually a dating website, but we're not suitable to be together in a relationship, but we're best friends. So that's awesome. And I met Sam in my no sex dating group. And again, we're not suitable to be in a relationship, but we still have amazing friendship. So the best. So it's all really, really, really good, you know. So you can meet good people on the internet, you know. So I just want to say the upside of the internet, because there's quite a lot of, you know, a lot of issues and problems surrounding it. But, you know, especially at the moment, you're most likely to meet someone kind of the love of your life on the internet. There's more people at home at the moment and online than outside at the moment, socializing, you know. So you know, like, don't think all the internet's bad. Don't think every single person on the internet's bad, because it isn't true, you know. There are really, really good people on the internet. There are really kind, caring, loving people, people who really do want a serious committed relationship. You know, I know Sam's very much like me. They're really looking for a serious committed relationship. You know, they haven't found the right asexual person for them either yet, you know. But there are good people out there, you know. I think they're few and far between in the dating and relationship scene, to be perfectly honest with you, the ones that really interest in relationship. I think it's very difficult dating in this era. I think especially in terms of like heterosexuals, I think a lot of them are after sex. I think a lot of them do use people for sex. I think a lot of them are swipe culture, like swipe through this person, swipe through that person, chat to loads of people. But I don't really think they're, you know, like, seem that interested in getting serious committed relationship. Maybe the world's just changed, whereas most people don't want a serious committed relationship. They'd rather talk to like 20, 30, 40 people at once, and I don't know what they really want to do, because I mean, it is a bit of a waste of time, but it can get addictive, you know. I found I was getting addicted to it, so that's why I've not been on mingle2.com. I've stopped going on there at the moment. I still got my account with them, but you know, I want to like focus on my career and just like, you know, stop being addicted to that. It can get very addictive, especially when you really, really crave kissing and romance. It can get very much time consuming. I think it's better to, if you can, to sort your career out first, and then you'll have more time to actually dedicate to that. And maybe it's better to like actually, you know, go to more upmarket dating sites, or maybe even like pay for a dating agency or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, a lot of dating agencies probably haven't heard of asexuality before, you know. Or if they have, they probably don't really cater for us. But you know, I kind of think it's probably better to go that way. Or maybe like when your career's sorted and stuff, and other parts of your life are happier, you're more likely to find a decent person. But also, I think it's really important, as well, if someone's blocked you and you are feeling rejected and dejected, I think it's really important to not give up hope. To you know, because you're letting that person win. You don't want the person who blocked you to steal your heart away. Do you know what I mean? You don't want it to close your heart to other people. Like, oh, I had a really bad experience with this person, that person, that person, so no one's ever going to be nice. No one's ever going to show up. No one's ever going to be great, because that isn't true. You know, I do have awesome best friends in the stream, like I said, and you know, there are people out there that are good people. And I don't want, if someone's blocked you, to just think, oh my goodness, everyone's the same, because they're not. I would say probably like, you know, it's very minority percentage of people in the world, probably like 5%, from what I've heard from other traditional dating coaches as well. It's about 5% that's likely to actually be right for you. Obviously with asexuals, it's kind of like less if you don't like sex, because we're 1% of the population. But you know, there are good people out there. It's not all bad, doom and gloom, and you shouldn't let, you know, you shouldn't let people who have like, you know, like given you a bad experience in dating a relationship, you shouldn't let them like have power over you to close your heart off to other possibilities. You know, just because they did wrong by you, they weren't good to you, they did something that wasn't so good. Obviously, like I said, it's good they did what they did, because they've set me free to continue my search for the right person. But you know, you've got to make sure that you're not thinking, oh right, well, this guy's done that, all these guys are the same. Do you know what I mean? It's very important to not slip into that habit, because it's very easy to do that, you know, to think that everyone's exactly the same. So it's important to keep your wits about you. It's important to look on the brighter side and think, you know, this is one person. There's thousands of people out there, thousands of potential matches, and thousands of people that are potentially really good people. So, you know, keep being positive. Maybe take some time out for you, like I'm doing, to just relax and chill and focus on other things, and you know, get your life back on track for being you and enjoying your own life for you. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I think you are awesome. I'm going to love you and leave you for now. I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form. If you did, please, please, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't watched it all the way through, go back to the beginning and re-watch this when it's finished being live. I have summarized the video a few times in it. And thank you so much for everyone who's been in the stream. Thank you, Andy, one of my best friends. Thank you, Sam, my other bestest friend. And thank you so much, Eddie. And thank you everyone else that's in the chat tonight. And thank you everyone else that's been watching. I know there's quite a few people who've been watching on and off throughout the night. Some of you have been here since the very beginning, so I really appreciate you. Lots of love. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button now and hit that bell notification, that little bell, so you get notified of every time I go live. Right now I'll post a new video. Thank you for being part of my community here. Like I said, subscribe if you haven't already, because I do a lot of videos on asexuality, dating, relationships. I talk about some mindset stuff, some self-care stuff, personal development stuff. So it's a really good channel to be part of. And I have an awesome community as well. Bye for now. Bye, Sam. Bye, Andy. Bye, Eddie. Bye, everyone. And Rachel, Quirky, and each other's. Bye.